A family member of yours was kidnapped, and then you call the kidnapper, then you're like, hey, and you hear the kidnapper was like, hey, oh boy, if you don't send 250 million, we're going to kill your sister, for example. You say, you hear the voice clearly, and it's because of somebody that you know. You say, Charlie, now you be this, what's happening now? Why you carrying my sister now? Why you even did that business? How you even carry that line of work? And just for the simple fact that you know that person, you saved the life of your sister. One of the things I really love when I study the life or the movies, The Godfather and The Money Heist and movies like that, even talking about Vincenzo and various kind of movies like that, is the fact that those people have very, very important key connections at every single point that they need them. You see, in business and in life, especially when you're talking about a comeback story, or trying to revive or come back from a failure in whatever thing that you're doing. One very important thing that you need to have in your life is a set of connections for every single point that you need them. Because in this life, one thing I've learned is that if you don't have connections, you can never make it, you can never succeed. And you remember that part from Godfather, he told his side, he says, I'm going to do this for you. One day I might call a service upon you.
Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day. Well, my friend, are you ready to do me the service?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
See the life of so many successful people, you see that one thing they always have is friends. One thing that they always have is great cycles around them, and these things are very, very important for you to think about, because if you don't have anybody that can call to, if you feel like if I call this person it might be somehow, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because you need to have people around you. Nobody does it alone. No man is an island. You cannot make it alone. Taking about right from going through school, going to succeed in business, you need people that you can call. I was listening to somebody and it was like he looks at it as if when we say if you're in a dire situation and you cannot raise you mentioned an amount of money from your friends, that means you need to change your cycle and something like that.
I hear a lot of rubbish these days. Things like, if you need 20 million and you can't call 3 friends to raise it, you need to change your circle. That's rubbish.
And my thoughts on that is that there's so many levels to this thing. It's not just about friendship, you understand? So some of your friends might not be able to raise that amount of money you're looking for, right? And some of them might be able to raise it. But the point is that if your friends have that money with them, they should be able to help you in those dire situations. And again, it doesn't have to be friends. Your connections don't have to be friends. The real quote doesn't just center on friends, it centers on connections. It might look as if it's crazy thoughts, but that's just the way life is. And it's not about making friendship or connections transactional, but they're relational, they're transactional. It's not just about financial transactions, it can be ideas transactions. If you're in a dire situation and you don't have anybody that you can call, or you feel like, I don't like calling people. The reason why you feel like you don't like talking to people or telling about your situation or calling people when you're in times of need is because you have not done anything for anybody. That's the simple truth about it. Friendship or connections is about give and take. That's the simple truth. And we talk about love being an action word. Somebody loves you, he's going to show it. If I love you, for example, and you have a challenge and I cannot solve that challenge, I'll do my best to ensure that I get that thing solved for you. And when I see that I cannot handle it like this, I have to think about it and say, okay, bros, come, let's think about it together. What do we do to get you out of this situation? So you need friends, not just to give you money, but you need friends who can give you ideas. You need contacts, you need connections who can give you, refer you your business to a friend. They may not be able to do that business for you. I was talking to somebody, I was saying that you are 6 connections away from everybody that you want to be connected to, every single person that you want to be connected to. They are just 6 connections away from them. And I'm sure that's statistically true, because you just have to keep making these connections, because just like Grant Cardone says, your success with people is with people. Especially with strangers. So you have to keep adding new connections to your list. And you need friends, you need cycle, you need acquaintances, but you need to have those connections, whether they are very, very close to you or they are away from you. But you should be able to call upon them to do a service upon you, and they should be able to do that service for you. Because if you cannot handle your friends, if you cannot call upon your friends or your cycle, let me use the word connections, or your cycle in their situations, then there's problem for you, and you can never make it. I was listening to Paul Wanibe during the destruction of his landmark, and I was talking about the fact that he wish he had more key factors, more key people in the political sectors, and that's the way big businesses operate in terms of capitalists. It's not that it's bad business or bad idea, or it's about monopolistic thinking. It's just that is how the world works. These capitalist big companies, they always have people in various sectors. They have people they call lobbyists. It's about those connections. It's not about thinking bad. It's about that's how the world works. You need to have people in various aspects of the sector. You may look at it as it's bad, and then it's corruption or things like that. No, it's not. It's about you finding a way for people to help you to do the right things, especially when you're in a time of difficult situation. You cannot do it alone. Just forget about that, thinking that, I can do it alone. Don't need anybody's help to survive, to succeed in my thinking and things like that. You always need people in various aspects of your life, and if you don't have people, then there is no way that you can expect to be successful, right? So, after the network capital, before you start any business, or when you're trying to come back from, before you start any business, you need to have a set of net worth capital. You need to have a set of high human capital, people who you can call in times of help. And it's even more important than financial capital. You know what I'm saying? People who can, when you're down, who can raise you up. Like you look at the life of Jesus Christ, he also had those people. When he was in terms of the lonely situation, he needed those people badly. Even was where he even took Peter, can't you stay with me for 1 hour? You understand? So these kind of things are very, very important, and you might not feel as if it's important. You may feel as if it's really rubbish that we're talking about connections until you really need one. You understand what I'm saying? So connection is very, very important. You need to keep making them every single day. As you're going about saying today, I need to make $10,000, I need to make $5,000, I need to keep 100 million, I need to keep 1 million in my accounts. Always ensure that you need to have a new stranger, a new person in your contact list. And this is very important. When you look at the life of David in the Bible, at that point where they went to war with some other people, when they came back, their own community had been raided by people, by other soldiers, and these soldiers took away their wives, their children, the spoils of their land. And they were just weak, because it's as if they won the battle somewhere else and their house was leaking somewhere else. And they had no option. They cried until they had no choice of crying again. They just had to go out. And David, after he had done his findings, he decided to go out to battle with these people. And when he went out, he saw somebody on the road and was like, "Hey, how far? Come." And then he gave the person, he fed the young man that was almost died. He fed that young man and he gave him food. And then after he had eaten, it asked the young man about what happened in the community. And the young man was able to explain to him and expose everything that had happened. And then he was able to go and then get back his family and the family of all the soldiers. And this is a very, very important thing about connections. The young man that David made connection with, he didn't do as if he needed. He didn't go first saying, "Hey, oh boy, help me," when the guy was even in a dire situation. You understand? So the truth about making connections is that you don't make them when you need them most of the time. You make them even before you need them. And how do you make these connections? You just need to live a good life. Being good, being kind. That's why I love Gary Vee for when he talks about kindness. Kindness is candor. Kindness is a very, very important attribute to have. Every single day you're living your life, you see somebody on the streets, you just have to render help to somebody. You see somebody is going through a lot, you just have to render help to that person. You see somebody who is passing through one situation or the other, you just need to render help to that person. Just be good, just be kind. At every single point that you are, once you are just kind, that's why you see so many people today, they're able to call upon millions, they're able to call upon billions. Sometimes you see some pastors, they'll be like, "I need 1 billion naira." And you see people start sending such amounts of money to them. You see a pastor will say, "I need a house," and people start sending those things to them. You see somebody that will say, "Oh," you see someone like Davido will be like, "Today's my birthday, make sure everybody sends something." People are sending money quickly because they want to key into that connection. Why? Because those people have done something for them. And every single time you live your life, you have to just find a way to, who can I help today? Who can I be good to today? Not you going about looking for somebody that you can be good to. From the time you wake up, a simple good morning, a simple just being nice. You see somebody, you can open the door for the person, you just do that. You're sitting down, an elderly woman is standing up, for example, and it's not a pride. "Mama, you can come and stand while I stand." Why are you doing all those things? Because you don't know who is going to help you tomorrow. You see somebody who you can afford to pay the person's school fees. The person is out of school and you decided to help that person go through school. Because at that point you can do it, and then you do it. And then you see that this person is going to help you later on. These are the kind of ways that you think about it, because Like for me, the way I live my life in terms of when I see somebody who has a challenge, I'm always like delighted. You understand? Some people be like, hey, you go and hustle for yourself. You don't even know. It's not about prank, it's a prank. Get the video out. Come and take your 1 million naira, you pass the test. It's not about that. You're doing it because you don't even care whether people are watching or people are not watching. You're just being good. You're just being kind to every single person. Somebody comes to you, needs help, and then you can render it. Of course, so you render that help to them. Why? Because you know you're planting a seed. You're planting a seed of friendship. You're planting a seed of relationship. You're planting a seed of connection. Because tomorrow it can be the other way around. You can be sitting on the other side of the table. Somebody needs a job, and you have that job, you can render this person, and this person can learn on the job. Of course, come and take the job, because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, it's just like network marketing. If you've done network marketing before, not to mention any names, but if you've done network marketing before, you understand this concept very well. That for you to succeed, you need to help other people to succeed. Because the more these people succeed, the more you can easily succeed. Your downlines need to succeed. When your downlines are succeeding, then it's easier for you as their upline to now succeed. And they'll call you the sponsor. That's how it is. At every point in time, somebody who helped you, who is helping you now, you will see that it's because you did something for them. That's the simple truth. You were kind to them when you could afford to be kind. You were nice to them when you could afford to be nice. You could help them when you could afford to help them. And you don't need to waste that period that you are before a crisis, before a failure. You know, somebody will say, yeah, you should. When you're in a crisis, the level of the way you fall down depends on the amount of friendship or the amount of quality people that you have built in the past. Yes, I'm not using people. If you're using people, then you cannot succeed. You understand? The truth of the matter in life is that whatever you sow, you're going to reap. Some people don't believe in karma, but it exists as real as tomorrow. It's as real as yesterday. You understand? So it's as real as yesterday. Karma exists, and the truth of the matter is that when you do good to somebody, expect it tomorrow. You understand? Not that you're doing it and saying, oh, I'm helping this guy so that tomorrow he's going to help me. And when he doesn't help you, you're sad, you're angry. It might not come from that person, it might come from somebody else. You understand? So don't do it and saying, I expect you to do something for me and you cannot do it for me. And that's sad. You just don't know. You're just being nice. That's the point of the video, is that for you to secure good connections, you have to be a good person. You have to be able to afford to render everything you can render, whether help, whether financial help, ideas, whether it's with a reference to somebody, to their client, a client you can give to somebody to help them kickstart their business, a push that needs somebody to be a better version of themselves. And all those things are very, very important, because once you do them, those persons automatically feel indebted to you. That's psychology. You understand? Somebody's helping me, for example, I know that automatically, psychologically thinking about how I'll also help that person. Just keep doing as much good as possible. You're sowing seed. That's the way most of these politicians keep going and going. Here, Godfather this, Godfather that. You're not trying to be a bad person in terms of getting bad things or using people for your own benefit. You're helping them for their own benefit, because you know that tomorrow they can help you for your own benefit. Simple. You're not using people even against their will, just for your own benefit. That's manipulation, and that's bad, evil manipulation. That's not what you want. So I really love the life of Professor in Money Heist. I love the life of Victor Don Corleone in Godfather and Business and all these people like that, because even Tommy Shelby, you know, they can call on somebody and say, hey, this is what I need from you, please, can you help me in this? Why? Because you've done something in the past. Some people feel like, hey, this guy always gets people, because you get people. Now me, I don't get people. It can be that if some people tell people's children, say, because your father get people, his father has paid the price. If you start paying your price now, you know, the people that will help your children tomorrow, the connections that you build today, people that will help you tomorrow, and the connections you built right now. So start building this connection. You don't build connections when you need help. You're not going to say help me or help me, help me. Help. You build those connections even before you need help. You build connections when you don't need help. That's how you succeed in life. So be kind. Be kind when you're going out on the street. You see somebody who you can help to. Be kind to a person. That's how you make the world a better place, and you make yourself a better person, and you make every person a better person, because it's going to get to a point in time when you need help from people. It can be that small child today, it can be that beggar tomorrow. The beggar might not be able to give you money, but the beggar can save you from a crime. The banker, as a banker, you're working in the bank, for example, you might just talk nice to customers, talk nice to people. It can leave something for you. Somewhere you can need a help, and then you can need a job, and that person who you've been nice to can help you. You can see somebody in the street, just be freaking nice, you know, just be good to everybody. You don't have to be wicked, you don't have to squeeze yourself, burn your face, and be just wicked, face wrinkled every single day just because somebody did something bad to you and you want to do bad to every other person. You cannot succeed like that. You cannot make it. And don't be foolish to think that it's only rich people that you can help. Don't always think that it's only rich people that you can help because they can give you money. Life is not about money. Money is something that's not even it's not, you know, money is just a store of value. What you need to think about is value. Some things are valuable. Somebody can save you from crime, from kidnappers. Somebody can save you from theft. Somebody can give you an idea that you just need to unlock breakthroughs in your life. Somebody can give you a referral. You know, I listened to Allen Oyema and he talks about how one of the person who really helped him in his business, for him to even kickstart his business, is a Tog, you know, a tout, an Agbero who helped him, who he was always greeting, hailing, and then he was always hailing this Agbero and say, how far are you going to work? And then sometimes he drops a tip. And the Agbero was able to tell him that, hey, his family wants to sell land, and then he went and then he was able to discuss with family, and then family gave him so many lands to sell, and whatever thing he keeps on top, he makes the profit for himself. That's just the power of friendship and connections. You know, connections is what comes to friendship, and it's during those hard times that you know who are your true friends, who are ready to die for you, who are ready to be loyal for you. And that's because the only way they can do that is because they know that you too can be able to do those kind of things for them. So don't be scared of doing good to people. Create as much connections as possible, and the only way they can get good connections is to be good to people, be nice to people. And when you have a challenge, when you have a business failure, trying to come back from a business failure, those people are going to help you. People that you've helped a long time ago, those people that you've helped to certain places long time ago, and they're going to help you, period. You know, they're going to help you.